It looks like Mark's microphone is muted.
I think they're waiting to go live, Matt. So maybe we're just kind of
Yeah. Well, I don't know where we're streaming right now because it says we're live. Hey, Mark, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Awesome. Welcome.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, how's it going?
Cool. Can I get a confirmation from the production team that we're live on the xBTC feed?
Yeah, we're live. We're live.
We are? Okay, Mark. So just to schedule, just to keep you up to date, we're gonna do 15-minute presentation from you guys, and then we're gonna go 15 minutes in the Kylan, and then we'll finalize with a 30-minute with Royale, and then we want you to stick around if you can for the panel discussion. We got a lot of people here.
Cool. Yeah, I should be able to.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll hand it off to you now.
Can I share my screen? Yeah.
Yeah, is it not letting you? Can the production team please give Mark the ability to share his screen?
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Awesome. You're not outside anymore. Is it getting cold?
No, in the same room, but it's dark here, so it's only
Nice.
6 a.m. or 7 a.m. over here.
Oh, okay.
Struggle is real.
Sorry, guys, having some technical difficulties.
No worries. I guess you got the blinds down too, so I can't see the great outdoors.
Right.
I've had like maybe 5 or 10 live streams with Mark, and it's like he lives in literally like the Ozarks.
Yeah, I think he's won a few awards for the best background. We'll give him that.
I think he also left.
Right.
He was
Probably to pull up the blinds.
Yeah. There's set the mood.
Come back to us, Mark.
Yeah, if the production team can check if he's in the waiting room. All right, he's coming.
Yeah, he's in.
Welcome back, Mark.
Hey, sorry about that. I just installed Big Sur, and so everything's freaking out right now, but should work now.
What is that, Big Sur?
The new Mac OS.
Okay.
Does that look good?
Oh, the Big Sur.
Yeah, it looks good.
Great, awesome.
Awesome.
Great. So welcome everybody. I'm live, right now?
Yeah, we're live.
Great. Welcome everyone. So we are xBTC. Social capital is kind of like our umbrella concept, and xBTC is one of the first tokens that we're launching. And xBTC, in the simplest form, is the most diversified token in digital assets. And so looking at the problem that we were trying to solve, really, holding multiple digital assets is really cumbersome. I'm our first customer. I'm somebody who had issues holding multiple digital assets. I've been in since 2011, 2012, and hold over 100 digital assets literally, and keeping all of those organized and all of the wallets and exchanges organized is a headache, to say the least. And so looking at diversifying in this space is just really, really difficult to diversify in digital assets, and it's a highly volatile space. And remaining diversified is nearly impossible, as everything fluctuates so much every day and every week. And so how do you make digital assets more accessible so that those issues allow even simpler users to come into the space, and not everybody needs to be an expert, and not everybody needs to hold, 10 different wallets on their computer and 3 different hardware wallets in multiple exchanges. And so looking at our solution, we've created a single token that provides you access to the most diversified portfolio that you can have in digital assets. And so what we've created is what we call a dominance hedge, which is a new type of hedge that is more responsive and adaptive than a price hedge. It allows you to access the price action of every single digital asset against Bitcoin. So literally every single altcoin is measured by xBTC's spot price on the open market. And then holding is rewarded through our mint, which provides staking rewards, and then also long-term holding through rebases can reward users and holders. And then also it's just one ERC20. You just grab xBTC, and then you have access to all of these other features. And so that one token access really creates simplicity and ease of use for any user who grabs xBTC. And looking at the market for, digital assets, it's still in this nascent stage. We were only 300 billion a month ago, now at 500 billion, and that's down from the 800 billion crest. But looking at the stock market and looking at the gold alone, we are still miles away from them, 1/27th of what they are. And so there's still large room to grow in digital assets. And we believe that, altcoins that are holding insurance, banking, savings accounts, all of these other edge cases for blockchain technology, tracking product quality, healthcare. There's just so much gaming, streaming. We think that market cap is going to outgrow and outpace Bitcoin's market cap. And so looking at our product, our xBTC, it uses rebasing to adjust the token supply on the entire market of xBTC. Similar to other tokens such as Ampleforth that you may be aware of, which uses rebasing. But we are using these supply changes to push the price towards Bitcoin's market cap dominance. So when you're at parity, if Bitcoin dominance goes down, more supply is sent to users because that pushes a positive rebase as the peg goes under the spot price. And then if BMCD goes up, supply is taken from their wallet because the peg is now above the spot price. And so this positions xBTC as a dominance hedge against Bitcoin and for all other digital assets. So it's somewhat counterintuitive, but in a rebasing token, the main benefit to users is through the supply changes rather than the price changes. So the price is secondary to supply, at least historically, as we've seen in rebased tokens. And so why Bitcoin dominance? Well, first off, we just think it's a very relevant number to digital assets. We think it's one of those numbers that everybody thinks of and everybody can use as they get into the space and understand it more. And it's a number that you can't easily trade right now. There's no easy spot trading on Bitcoin dominance, and it's hard to access that number right now anywhere, even in a walled garden like an FTX or something like that, where you're getting these really novel derivatives, you still can't find Bitcoin dominance. And in 2017, we saw it fall to nearly 30%. And now it's, at that 60% level. And so there's a precipitous drop coming if altcoins do exactly what they did in 2017, which we imagine they will, if not more than what they did in 2017, as now those other digital assets have partnerships with global corporations and are multi-billion-dollar companies and are actually releasing products. Whereas in 2017, when they outpaced Bitcoin, they were mostly really vaporware and white papers and didn't actually have products. And so we see the next altcoin run really outpacing the last altcoin run. And so with looking at Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin is really, it is a legacy and inferior technology. We see Bitcoin's price continuing to go up, and we see it as a really great reserve asset, and it's really useful. But as far as it outpacing the rest of the market, we don't see that. And so we have, over, that number is now antiquated. There's nearly 300 billion now held in Bitcoin, and everybody who's holding Bitcoin needs a way to hedge against it becoming more of a legacy and an inferior technology versus all the other blockchain technologies that are out there. But a price hedge, is hard to use, especially against Bitcoin because it's so volatile. And, you usually have a strike date. And so you have to bet the right date when the price will be X. But with a market cap dominance hedge, which we've created, there is no strike date, there's no endpoint, and it's much more responsive. You can compare it to hedging Microsoft against the NASDAQ. Microsoft did not keep pace with Facebook and with Google and with all of the companies that came into the NASDAQ, but its price would have been very hard to short along the way or long along the way because of how volatile the bets are on that. And Microsoft itself didn't strike up super fast or super slow. It just slowly died against these other more novel and more avarice competitors. And so if you just had a dominance hedge on it, that would have constantly been paying out. And so that's what we're kind of creating here, is this new type of hedge that is actually Bitcoin's dominance versus the rest of the market, rather than just having to get it exactly right with Bitcoin and its price. And so when you look at that, what we've really created is a synthetic derivative, really. And so when you look at traditional derivatives, they insure against price movements, they increase market exposure, and they allow access to otherwise hard to trade assets. And that's exactly what xBTC does. And so with that, if you look at the traditional derivatives market, the notional value is 640 trillion with a real value of only 12 trillion. So there's a lot of made up value in the derivatives, but it's not made up, right? It's used by traders. And so that value is important because it allows them to hedge bets and allows them to make novel bets. And we see on Robinhood, 63% of their revenue comes from options. So we know options are very popular and derivatives are becoming more popular. And so seen through that derivatives lens, xBTC is really just a price sensor for the demand of digital assets hedging against Bitcoin. And so it's this open market new type of derivative that doesn't have the complexity of traditional derivatives. You don't need to do KYC. There's no walled garden. There's no interface to learn. There's no strike dates. You just buy and know that if Bitcoin dominance goes down, positive rebases come your way. And so it's a much quicker and easier type of derivative, but a new type of derivative. Looking at our team, you see me, Mark, and then Atash and Jonas, our CTO, Atash, our CMO, and they, all three of us come from years in the crypto asset space. We've worked with multiple projects, many of which they've gotten to 30, 60 million in market cap, and have directly supported them in community management and creating videos and creating white papers, product design. Jonas has worked with exchanges and creating their backend for blockchain technology, a lot of experience in coding and Solidity. And our product is now, the xBTC is on the market and we're functioning correctly, and there's been no issues for the past couple months. We've launched our mint, we've launched our dashboard, and all of these have launched without any issues. And so the track record before we launched was there, and now it continues to be there. When looking at our supporters, we originally had an Oracle from Teller and worked with their CTO, Nick, over there to make that Oracle. We worked with Unification and still are in auditing our historical price feed. So we really want to be used by large users, institute grayscales, things like that. And so we really want that traditional, dependable data feed for our historical data and future data. And then TDeFi accelerate us through their acceleration program. And Zokyo is a long-term security partner. They did our audit and continue to work with us on the security of our platforms. And then we partnered with 1inch for a first of its kind initial Mooniswap offering. So really showing the ability of our team to branch out and build relationships and connect with people. And now we've created a first of its kind, I should have put this on here, but a first of its kind Oracle with Chainlink in the last couple of weeks, and have switched completely over to Chainlink for our Oracle. And they built that from scratch with us. We worked together with them, our CTO and their developers, to create a brand new Oracle, the first of its kind, to track Bitcoin dominance. So we really are at the cutting edge of this idea of using dominance on the open market. We had many advisors. You can look at that list if you want to. Press pause if you're watching this later. I won't go through each of them, but just again, a testament to our ability to branch out in this industry and connect with people. And also those people saying this is an interesting idea. I want to jump on and I want to help out. And really a co-sign from all of them. Looking at our competition, there really is no direct competition. Many of the other rebasing tokens peg to price, and we think price isn't as novel of an idea to peg to, because a price action is something that you can get on the open market. If you want a token that rebases to the price of, Chainlink, you can just buy Chainlink if you want to access that price action. But if you want to buy Bitcoin dominance, you can't buy Bitcoin dominance. And so we think rebasing to this novel number that is not tradable on the open market is a much more interesting and important use of rebasing. And so we are really the first to do that. And because of that, our peg is supposed to be negatively descending, that Bitcoin dominance should be negatively descending, historically speaking. And so you can use that as a hedge against Bitcoin, and no one else has done that with a rebasing token. No one else has used market dominance or any other novel derivative yet. And then also it functions like a synthetic index fund on every single altcoin versus Bitcoin, and a synthetic derivative on Bitcoin dominance. And no one has really created a rebasing token like that. So we're really a first of our kind. And looking at a case study, if you look at something like Ample, which is definitely the leader in the rebasing space, what they really provide is a spot price on the 2019 CPI adjusted dollar. And so if you look at that, what that really is it's a synthetic tradable 2019 US dollar. And so what that creates is a new wave synthetic derivative, or sorry, a synthetic currency or a synthetic asset based on the 2019 dollar. And so looking at xBTC, all we are is a spot price on Bitcoin market cap dominance. We're a synthetic BMCD. And because of that, through that, we're creating a new wave synthetic derivative. And so it's a evolution of Ample, whereas Ample was an evolution of Bitcoin. They changed one thing about Bitcoin. They changed the supply and made it elastic. We now change one thing about Ample, and we don't peg to a novel legacy currency like the 2019 US dollar, soon to be a legacy dollar probably. We peg ours to dominance, which creates a whole new type of asset and a whole new type of structure. And so looking at xBTC, the simplest way to put it is we are an open market spot price on Bitcoin dominance. We really want to be here consistently and dependably along the way. And we've really hit each mark that we've tried to hit. And we haven't had any security or technology issues. And we want to keep doing that. We haven't changed anything about our model. There's a lot of things we could have changed. And you'll see a lot of other tokens or rebasing tokens try some novel things like throwing in deflation or changing their peg or turning off negative rebases, trying to be novel with their ways of cushioning price, but we just want to be a dependable financial instrument that you can use for the long term. And so really providing that one-click access to every single altcoin is at the base of what we want to provide, and then really lead the way in this new form of digital assets, these synthetic type derivatives that you can create through rebasing and put anything onto the open market, and really create an open market options or derivative that you can't really see anywhere else, right? Anywhere else you want to trade options, you have to do KYC, you have to understand a complex interface, you have to understand a lot of rules to the game, you have your strike date. There's so much complexity to these types of derivatives. And by creating an open market synthetic derivative, we've created something much more simple and easier to access. And that is the conclusion of our pitch.
Really appreciate that. Definitely one of the better pitches today. Proud to have you as a TDeFi incubated project. And definitely. I think we'll definitely want you to hang around until the pitch. We're moving on to 15 minutes from dial-in from Kylan, and then we'll be doing 30 minutes with Royale. So just stick around and we will hit the panel. Can the control room please switch over to the Kylan